Are you insecure about anything in life? Only you can answer that.
We learn about life through questions.
How do we shed our desires?
Should a leader try to change such people?
Insecurities start anytime, anywhere, any age.
Their conduct has to be as per their profession.
Does it mean that the family values are somewhere on the downfall?
To answer some of these, Mr. 𝗷𝗰𝗲𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏, founder of Pratibimb Charitable Trust, brings to you Face to Face. This week, we are talking about insecurities.
Most people think they are secure. But no matter how much one denies, the fact remains that we all have some insecurities. The parameters may differ and the levels be different. So, sir, what is insecurity?
Insecurity is a fear of loss. What does your security guard do? Protects you, life and property, from loss. So, insecurity is opposite of that, is loss.
So, what would be the root cause for this?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Losing. The magnitude of fear depends on the subject. Loss of life, huge fear. Loss of pocket money, small fear. Loss of salary, slightly bigger fear. Loss of life savings, big fear. So, depending on what you are losing, the fear is directly proportional to the size of your loss.
So, these insecurities, they start anytime, anywhere, any age, or
Yes.
where does it?
It can be at any age. Anybody who is not insecure can be deemed to be careless. I care a damn. So what?
So, are there any signs or behavior pattern which can indicate that this person or
Okay, now
is
that
insecure?
everything follows a parabolic curve. So, your fear escalates, 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 comes to the pinnacle of fear, and then your fear starts dissipating down. इससे ज़्यादा खराब क्या होने वाला है? इससे ज़्यादा नुकसान क्या होने वाला है? Once you reach that stage, then your fear starts diminishing. When you are on the upswing of fear, you are the most vulnerable. When you are on the downswing of fear, you are on this path of evolution. As the fear starts diminishing, tending to zero, the evolved souls have no fear of death also.
But do we realize we are insecure?
Most of the times we don't realize. Most of the times man doesn't realize his negativity. While he is going through the negativity, he doesn't realize that. Looking at something from the outside, you are able to visualize a lot of things. But when you are in it, you are unable to see yourself. For example, a commentator watching a game can easily pick out the mistake done by a particular player in that game. The player himself doesn't realize he has made that mistake because he is in it. He is unable to visualize himself making that mistake. So, most of the times when we are making mistakes or we are undergoing some negativity, we are not in a position to see ourselves, and therefore we don't pick out our mistakes.
So, once we comprehend that we are insecure, can we overcome that insecurity?
Yes and no. If you want to overcome, you will. Many people say they want to overcome, they can't, and many people don't want to overcome. They don't consider it important enough. Like, I have insecurity about my old age. What will happen? Will I have enough resources to take care of myself? Will I have sufficient money? Will my health support me? Will my family members support me? Will I be loved or will I be discarded? All these are fears, insecurities about my old age. Then when I am young, I start preparing for my old age. So, suppose my family members discard me, then I have sufficient funds to hire an old age home and spend the rest of my life there. Suppose I fall ill, I have got sufficient money to take care of the expenses which will be incurred for taking care of my illness. So, I start preparing for old age. born out of a sense of insecurity. I'm not earning, I need the finances to live whatever number of years I will live after retirement. So these are the insecurities for which people plan. Some people don't plan, they know all these things are going to happen and yet they don't plan. Aage dekha jayega. So there are different ways of looking at insecurities. Different people have different takes on insecurities.
So is insecurity a negative emotion?
Yes, anything that causes you concern, worry, fear is a negative emotion.
So can this negative emotion be converted and channelized into a positive emotion?
Everything can be channelized into positive. The subject that we all miss is the willpower. Any conversion requires willpower. I am fat, I want to convert to become thin. I require willpower to have proper nutrition, to have proper exercise, to have proper discipline. And yes, then I come back to shape. It's a subject of discipline. Discipline is a subject of willpower. So any conversion, for that matter, is possible for anybody if he has that willpower.
So it would be right to say that every individual is insecure.
I wouldn't say that. Insecurity is a state of mind. Everybody's state of mind is not negative. Some people say, I was born in these conditions and I grew up despite these conditions. So there is somebody taking care of me, why should I be insecure? And he's right.
But that is through willpower.
That's not willpower, that's not willpower. That's the way they are, that's the way they accept things as they are. They accepted their bad times, they accepted their good times and they are ready to go back to bad times. And it doesn't matter. It's a matter of faith. I have faith that I was born, I will be taken care of and life will go on. What's there to worry about? There is no insecurity. So they have adaptability. They adapt to any circumstances. पैसा है, adapted. पैसा नहीं है, adapted. प्यार है, adapted. प्यार नहीं है, adapted.
But wouldn't that be very rare?
I don't know about that. I don't have statistical data to say that whether it's rare or it's 25% of the population or 50% of the, I wouldn't know. And statistics don't matter. I mean, as far as I am concerned, 1 is a statistics because I am 1. So, does it work for me? Does it not work for me? That's the most important question and that's how it should be for everybody. Am I insecure is an answer for each one to give. Are you insecure? You can only talk about yourself. You can't talk about anybody else in the world. Are you insecure about anything in life? Only you can answer that. Similarly, every individual in this world should answer that question for himself or herself. Then what is it that you are insecure about? That needs to be addressed. And what makes you insecure is your lack of will to overcome that situation.
So is it easy to live with these insecurities if you have them?
I'm sure it's not easy. I'm quite certain it's not very easy to live with insecurities. Some people don't know how to get rid of insecurities for whatever reasons. So they live with it. They live in fear. They live in worry.
So there's no particular technique that we can apply to
overcome. Oh yes, there are
them.
techniques to overcome. Any negativity can be overcome by strengthening your willpower. Any illness has a cure. My ignorance of the cure doesn't mean that the cure does not exist.
This willpower, how does one get that when there is insecurity around? If we are not accepting there's insecurity.
Okay. Let's look at a quick case of a cornered animal or a cornered dog. When you corner an animal, what does the animal do? It fights back. Yeah? Because now you can't back up. There is no more place to back up. You are in the corner. This side there is a wall, this side there is a wall. There is no more maneuverability available to you. Now the only place available for me is forward. And in the front is the enemy. So if I have to move forward, I have to attack. So a cornered dog attacks. As long as you have the flexibility of maneuvering backwards, you don't resist, you get pushed. When you come into the corner, now you have no choice, you have only one way to go and that is forward, which means you have to face whatever is there in front.
Wouldn't it be difficult first to recognize that?
It is. When things are possible to maneuver, it's difficult to understand that this is my insecurity. Because I've got a cushion behind. I can be pushed back, I can be pushed back. I'm going back, okay, I can still take it. I don't realize that I am being pushed back, whereas I should be moving forward.
Generally, what we have seen is that at the workplace also, people are very insecure.
Good example, you see in the workplace, people don't open their mouths. Why? Because there is an insecurity, if I lose the job, then what? So, though they know that they are confronting a situation which is not truthful or honest, they choose not to open their mouths. In the process, they get pushed backwards in their careers. Because I have a fear that if I open my mouth, it might cost me my job.
So, insecurities are there. We accept our insecurities, and maybe we can help ourselves with the right technique.
Only willpower. That's the only way out. There is no other way out.
Once we realize our own strength and importance, once we see the ways we've been and can feel for ourselves our hurt on a deep level, we can actually start to break free of the chains that hold us back. We can shed the insecurities of our past and become the people we want to be.
If you have some questions about life, please connect with us. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for weekly updates.